Jake starts us off in Garden City, Kansas. Hey, Jake, how are you?
I'm better than I deserve, Dave. How about yourself?
Just the same, sir. Just the same. How can we help?
I am 24 years young, and I've done a lot of dumb in my life. I'm a mechanic. I got a question on if I'm doing the right thing here. I've got almost $22,000 in debt on my tools, which I have to do my job, so I'm paying that off as quick as I can. I'm in a place right now that my house, I have 2 offers on it to where I can get out and get a fair amount of equity out of it. Right now I'm paying on it, and I'm paying the PMI on it and all that, and I'm on a 30-year mortgage. I didn't get into it very smartly, but I have good equity in it, and for what I'm getting offered in this market, it is a very good deal. And I found another place actually 30 minutes down the road in another town that would still allow me to get to work easily, and it is already a place that I have equity in, and with the equity I'm pulling out of this place, would be able to put a significant down payment on it, get out of the PMI. Then I also have my pickup right now. I was upside down in it, and the market has gone up.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. You're gonna have to stop, Jake. What is it you need?
When I sell my house, do I invest into another house if I can get good equity into it and get under the PMI, or do I use it to pay off credit card debt? Now, I've got $5,000 credit card debt and some Snap-on tool debt. Mm-hmm. Do I use that towards the debts there, or do I use that to get into another house that I can be paying on?
How much are you going to get out of this house?
Approximately a little over $35,000.
And you're 24 years old, and you're single?
Yeah, single, but I have a 7-month-old son.
Okay. And you make what a year?
I make about 75 to 78.
Good for you. Okay. All right. And you got 22 in tools, and how much other debt?
27 on my pickup, which I think I can sell and get a cheaper vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
And 5,000 in credit cards.
Okay. So if you pay off the tools and the credit cards, you're renting right now.
That would be correct if I did that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you sell the truck, and you build up your emergency fund, and then you build up a down payment. And that's what I would do.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I would not. I would not buy another house right now.
Okay.
And let me just tell you, from a business perspective, and knowing a tiny bit about your business, and one of my best friends was in the Snap-on business for a while. Those guys are, they are very, very good at what they do, which is selling you tools. And that line of I have to have these tools to make my living is partially true, but it's not true of $22,000 worth. Some of that was bought because you just wanted one. And in your world, adding to that toolbox, unless it absolutely comes out of that toolbox and causes your income to go up more than the cost of that tool sometime in the next 90 days, is BS.
Yes, sir.
People in your world overbuy tools.
Yes, sir.
All the time. It's not that you don't need good tools. The Snap-on's good tools. It's good quality stuff. But they will sell you a line that, you have to spend money to make money. And this is what you do your craft with. And all of those lines are technically true, but it causes you to buy a good 30% more than you need in most people in your business. And subcontractors do it in the construction business. Computer people do it. People in the video world do it. They buy a bunch of crap, and they buy a bunch of equipment, and they spend all of their profits back out in equipment, and it's not stuff you have to do business.
We've talked about this before, Dave. Even with women that I work with through Business Boutique, there's an element of buying stuff, whether it's equipment, supplies, whatever, that we overbuy because it somehow justifies the business, because it somehow makes us feel like this is real, I'm really doing it, I'm a real fill in the blank. Yeah. It's kind of like, I use the example, but when I needed to go buy a suit to interview for my first job out of college, like I didn't have interview clothes. No, I just wanted to feel like I've got a new suit, I've got a new computer bag. You don't need that to do your job. And so when you start looking at, when you run your own business, that money is coming out of your paycheck because it's taking away from the profitability of the business. Then you start thinking, how many tools do I really need to have? Is this going to ROI, or can I get by with less and not justify the validity of the business with purchases? Because what justifies the validity of the business is money.
Yeah. So here's the thing:
not
you
tools.
got $22,000 worth in your box. You're making 78. You probably don't need any more for a while.
Yeah.
Not gonna make Mr. Snap-on very happy.
Yeah.
But my goal is not to make him happy. My goal is to make you happy.
Can he sell some back, you think?
No, but those guys are on a route, and so they'll swing by and see him every so often and sell him a new one.
We got a new thing. We got a new thing.
You got to have this thing.
You need this thing.
Yeah, and here's what's happening with that. And
look what you can potentially make with this.
Yeah, you can. There's certain tools that a 70-year-old version of it will actually still work perfect.
Right.
Other tools need to be brand new.
Right.
And so, but you just have to be careful because that's the business that they're in, and they're very, very good at it.
Well, and I would be willing to bet there's an element of business analysis to this where you go, okay, they Snap-on tools salesman guy comes by and he's like, oh, we've got this new thing that does this new thing. And you go, I don't have a request for that. You know what I mean? Like the requests that I have are oil changes, the brakes are bad, I need new, rotors. Okay, you got the tools for that. Cool. Get the tools for the things you actually use, not the new widget that someone's trying to sell you, because you don't have people coming in with that. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, oftentimes that's very, very true. So be careful with that. That's all I'm warning you on, Jake. But I think you're right. You sell the house, you become debt-free. You sell the truck, you become debt-free. Get you a beater, finish your emergency fund up. Then save your down payment, and that's probably a year to a 2-year process for you right now from today. But during that 2 years, you're going to be so unbroke because you won't have any payments that it's going to be a wonderful place to be. And you're carrying more stress maybe even than you realize right now between the credit card, the tool debt, the truck, and the house. And when you step out of all of that and you're just a renter, for a couple of years, and you say, okay, by the time I'm 26, I'll be back into a house, and I'm paying a really good, strong down payment, no PMI, and I won't have any debt, and it's completely different decision-making than it is to doing it today.
Yeah.
And kind of what you're doing is you're cutting halfway through the thing, and I'm just saying cut all the way through it.
Yeah.
Cut all the way through it.
Yeah.
So good questions.